Hello, I am David Mitchell. I'm a musical director and a biblical scholar, and in this book on the Songs of Ascents, I wear both hats when I examine Psalms 120 to 134, the 15 Songs of Ascents. Let me explain. As a biblical scholar, I'm a specialist in the Psalms. The Psalms were the subject of my doctorate 30 years ago. And my book, The Message of the Psalter, published back in 1997, has had a significant impact on modern study of the Psalms. But I'm also a musicologist and a musical director and a musician. And I worked for 25 years as director of music in the Anglican Cathedral in Brussels. That means I'm a specialist in things like liturgy and period performance. Liturgy is how we use words and music in the worship of God. All churches have liturgy, and Anglicans are big on liturgy, but I'm also an expert on what we call period performance. So I always ask, how was this music originally sung when it was written? So when I produce a Bach Passion, or a Handel's Messiah, or Mozart Masses, or the motets of Bird or Tallis, I ask questions like, how did Bach's viola da gamba execute these arpeggios? Did Handel use organ or harpsichord in this recitative? How did Mozart's soprano sing this trill? Or how did Tallis's tenor sing that high note? In other words, how was all this music originally performed? So you can imagine that when I look at the Songs of Ascents, I ask, how did the Songs of Ascents function as liturgy in ancient Israel? And this takes us on a journey of discovery. First, we analyze the 15 songs. What clues does the Bible offer about who wrote them, why they wrote them, how they were sung? And I conclude that they were composed for the dedication of Solomon's temple in Jerusalem and first sung there on the 15th of Ethanim in 959 BC. And then from the Bible and rabbinic literature, the Mishnah, the Tosefta, and the Talmud, we reconstruct the elaborate ritual that accompanied their singing in the temple. Then I ask, what did the original music sound like? So I investigate what the temple orchestra was like and how it functioned. Who were the singers? How and where did they sing? But that leads to another question. What did these songs sound like? Or where is the lost music of the Psalms now? We find that their music is not really lost. It is preserved in the cantillation marks of the Hebrew Bible. And these marks record how these songs were sung in ancient times. That means we still have the musical score of the music of the Psalms, but we have lost the ability to read it. So we start with a trip to the very origins of music itself, to ancient Sumer. Then, with a little help from specialists in ancient Near Eastern musicology, we reconstruct the meaning of the cantillation marks. Then we reconstruct the ancient music of the Songs of Ascents. I don't claim that the reconstructions are 100% accurate, but I think they are probably 80 to 90% accurate. But there's more. We find that at least one of these psalms had a prehistory, and they all had a later story. Some people call this reception history. And in this later story, they were sung in the temple for the best part of 1,000 years. And then, of course, they passed into the book of Psalms in our Bible. And they have been sung in many different ways over the years, right down to our own day. And so, in the last two chapters, I conclude by asking, what is the meaning of the Songs of Ascents within the book of Psalms? For they carry an important message about the Messiah and about his kingdom. And finally I ask, what do we learn from the Songs of Ascents about how we use music in worshipping God? And on the way we discuss a few other things like, where is the Ark of the Covenant now? For it's not as lost as you might imagine. And how is the sacred name of God originally pronounced, and other interesting things. So, here it is, the Songs of Ascents, Psalms 120 to 134 in the worship of Jerusalem's temples. It's a nice, chunky book, 120,000 words, 15 chapters, 4 appendices, 27 pictures, 14 tables, 29 musical examples. If you like the Psalms, or if you like music, I think you'll love it. And blessed be Jesus the Messiah. Amen.